And this good evening, everyone. This is Sons of American Legion Basketball Huddle. I am Richard Miller here in Florida. With me tonight is Jack McGuirk. Jack, how are you?
Doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Tonight on the basketball huddle, we're gonna go over some games and also take a look at the currently top 25. Iona basketball is doing excellent so far. They recently over the weekend they defeated Monmouth 70 to 62. A very nice
Mhm.
win for for Iona. The rundown. It was Iona's men's basketball team took the lead 3 minutes over into the game and never looked back. With a win over Monmouth in the Metro Athletic Conference, the Gales snapped a two-game losing streak and entered their 20th win overall and improved. They are now undefeated at home with a 10-0 record. And Eli Joyner in that game scored his 1,000th career point. What did you think of the game, Jack?
A heck of a win for Iona. Nice rebound after they had surprising loss against Siena on Friday, but nice 70 to 62 win over Monmouth, continuing their home winning streak. 10 and 0 at home. They're
Yes,
20
10 and
in for
0.
the season. And a little history there for Elijah Joyner. Great game. He led the Gales with 15 points in the game. Tyson Jolly had 13 points there. And he was I saying Elijah Joyner actually led 4 double-digit scores with 15 points. As I said, he added 7 assists and 6 rebounds, which are all nice. So great game for him. Also, Nelly Jr. Joseph had 8 points in the game, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, and an assist in the win. And Iona outshot Monmouth 39.2% to 38.6% for the game. Iona had 15 assists, 15 turnovers. Monmouth had 12 assists, 20 giveaways in the loss. So it was a great win for the Gales. And up next is a game against St. Peter's tomorrow night on the road.
Yep, that will be tomorrow night on the road. Iona is now 20-5 overall, first place in the Metro Atlantic. Very good in the home stretch of the season, where they've now got only 6 games left until a makeup from St. Peter's tomorrow night, from actually January 7th. Fairfield on Sunday, Canisius on Friday, Ryder on the 27th, Manhattan, and then Quinnipiac on March 5th. So very nice wins for them over the on Sunday. A very good win after a really tough loss to Siena on Friday, despite Tyson Jolly with 20 points, Nelly Joseph with 12 rebounds, and also with three assists in that game. So this team is still looking good. I think they will end up being a good team in the MAC tournament, and hopefully the ultimate goal will be getting to the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. And over the weekend, it was kind of a double header up at West Point. 2 Army-Navy games, one for the men's teams and then the women's teams game up there. The men's team, it was a close game, but Navy came out on top in that one, 52-49 for Navy in that game. And actually the women's team for Army came up with a win early over the weekend. But I'll start with the men's game. As I said, it was
Who was actually first, Jack, the men's or the women's game?
I think the women actually played first.
Okay.
But anyway, Navy had a 52-49 win over Army. Jalen Rucker led the Black Knights at 18 points in the game. And he went for a 3-point shot at the buzzer, but it fell short. As with that loss 52-49, had he hit that 3-pointer at the buzzer, would have been a tie game going into overtime. Unfortunately, he missed that one, but Navy led 9-2 after 6 minutes and led 19-8 with 9 minutes left in the opening half. Army outscored Navy 15-6 to close the half. But Navy started Jalen Rucker of Army started a 6-point run, a 7-0 run with a 3-pointer, followed up by layups from Isaiah Caldwell and AJ Allensbach. At one point, the score was tied 21-21 with 2:31 left in the game. And after a pair of free throws from Charlie Peterson, layup by Josh Caldwell, tied the game 23-23. So it was a very, very close game. Ultimately, Navy came out on top with the win. And up next for Army on Wednesday, they're hosting Colgate. And that's going to be a tough game. I think Colgate is leading the Patriot League. So that should be a tough one for Army. And with the Army women's team, as I said, they came up with a big win over Navy, got to sing second at the game. It was a 70-66 win over Navy. Elisa Fallon leading the Black Knights with 17 points. Lauren Lithgow, 14 points. Sabria Hunter, 11 points in the game. But it was their third consecutive Star Game victory after holding off Navy, as I said, 70-66 in the Star Game. That's the Army Navy basketball game, Star Game. As I said, Elisa Fallon had 17 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. She was one of 3 Black Knights to record double-digit points. Sabria Hunter, as I said, 11 points, go on with 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Lauren Lithgow, 4 for 6 from the arc, 14 points. Army dominated without rebounding Navy 33-29 while ripping down 22 defensive rebounds. So this is a really strong game for the Black Knights. Army shot 63% in the third quarter. Lauren Lithgow, as I said, hit a season best 4 3-pointers in the game. Army actually hit a season best 13 3-pointers in the game. So big 3-point game for the Black Knights. And like the men's team, they're going to be taking on Colgate, although they are on the road at Colgate while the men's team is staying at West Point for the game. But great game for the Black Knights there.
Yes, and they have 4 games left. And a team that has absolutely been struggling. They have now really hit the skids a little bit, losing 5 out of their last 6. Their last win was at home against Lafayette 60-56. So this team is going to need to turn it around very shortly towards the end of the season. If they right now they're 13 and 13 overall. If they want to be a team in the conference tournament, it's gonna have to be a clean sweep. And depending even on the standings right now in the Patriot League with oh no wait, am I looking at I'm looking at the women's standings. Okay, let's get it.
Yeah, women's standings, I think Army's like right in the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
And Navy's kind of right near the bottom of the pack.
Yeah. On that,
struggling.
yeah, Navy's near the bottom, and Army's in the middle of the pack. Let's see, going over to the I'm looking it up here on the Patriot League standings. Army is right now. Army's men's team has now lost 4 in a row, while Loyola of Maryland has lost 3 in a row. Boston U is staying up with 3 wins. Also is Navy, and Colgate has now won 6. Colgate has now won 6 in a row. What happened with Navy this week, Jack?
Navy, as I mentioned, they had those games against Army.
Oh yeah, that's right. Navy was playing Army, so both academy games were against each other.
Mhm.
Okay, looking at looking at right now college basketball scores over college basketball scores over the weekend in the top 20 in the top 25 in the top 25. Let's see, top 25. Let's no. Oh, well, let's see. Yesterday, um, number 24, Connecticut defeated St. John's 63-60. Connecticut is now 17-7, while St. John's falls to 13-11. Number 3, Purdue defeated Maryland 62-61. Purdue is now 22-4, while Maryland is 11-14 on the season. Number 13, Illinois in Champaign, Illinois, a 73-66 victory over the over Northwestern. Northwestern is 12-11, while Illinois is 18-6 on the season. I think those were college basketball scores from those were college basketball scores from yesterday. Let's see the February 12th game. Oh yeah, weren't a lot of college basketball games on Super Bowl Sunday. Number 1 Auburn defeated Texas A&M. Auburn is now 23-2. You gotta watch out for this Auburn team in the NCAA tournament with
Definitely.
with Bruce Pearl as their coach. Auburn is now 23-2 on the season, 75-58 victory over the Texas A&M Aggies. Number 10 Baylor, the defending national champions, an 80-63 victory over Texas. Baylor is now 21-4, while Texas is 18-7. Number 8 Kansas 20-4, getting by Oklahoma, who's 14-11, 71-69. Wilson with 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 assists. Villanova and Seton Hall. Number 15, Villanova 73-67 over Seton Hall. Villanova is 19-6. That was in Philadelphia. While Seton Hall is 15-8. Rutgers is 15-9 on the season, defeating Wisconsin 73-65. You've got number 17, Michigan State, the Spartans. Coached by Tom Izzo, is 76-61 over Indiana. Michigan State is 18-6, while Indiana is 16-8 on the season. Memphis Tigers and the Houston Cougars. Houston's only 4th loss of the season, a 69-59 victory, while the Memphis Tigers go to 14-8. Houston is now 20-4 on the season. An SEC clash between the Florida Gators and Kentucky Wildcats. While the Wildcats bring the claws against Florida, Kentucky is 21-4 on the season, a 78-58 victory. Tisborough for Kentucky had 27 points, 19 rebounds, and 2 assists. Murray State, number 23, is 24-2 on the season, defeating Morehead State 57-53. Morehead State is 19-8 on the season, while Murray State is 24-2 on the season. Number 9, Texas. Excuse me. Excuse me. Number 9, Texas A&M is 19-6 on the season, while TCU is 16-6 on the season. Texas Tech with an 82-69 victory in that game. Texas Tech is 19-6 on the season. Butler is now a game under 500, 12-13 with an 85-79 victory over number 18 Marquette. Marquette is 16-9 on the season. The Duke Blue Devils in Mike Krzyzewski's final year are right now 21-4, defeating Boston College, who is 19-14 on the season, 72-61. Number 4 Arizona, team that should be paying attention in the NCAA tournament, that should be paying attention to, with a 22-2 record, 92-68 over Washington. Washington is 13-10 on the season, while Arizona is 22-2 on the season. Number 16, Ohio State 15-6 on the season, while Michigan is 13-10 on the season. 68-57 Ohio State over Michigan. Also, as well, in an SEC matchup, number 19 Tennessee 73-64 over Vanderbilt. Tennessee is now 18-6, while Vanderbilt is only 2 games over 500 at 13-10. Number 11 Providence gets it done in overtime. How about a 76-73 victory over DePaul? Number 11 Providence, they look like they're tournament bound. A 21-2 record, while DePaul falls to a game under 500. The Gonzaga Bulldogs 21-2 on the season, defeating St. Mary's 74-58. St. Mary's is now 20-6 on the season. And the last game of the day, USC number 21, defeating the opposite number of that, 12. Number 12 UCLA, a 67-64 victory for USC over UCLA. Jack, what were your some of the takeaways from the games over the weekend?
Yeah, you just made some great points. The top two teams very close right now in the ranking, Auburn and Gonzaga. Keep a close eye on them. Gonzaga's usually, always on top there. Also, Providence College, our colleague Ken Crates' alma mater, Providence. What a year they're having, 21-2. Just playing outstanding basketball. Villanova hanging in there, 19-6 on the season. And Duke playing really well in Coach Krzyzewski's last year. And all these teams playing fabulously well. It's always fun when you see the Catholic schools show up on these lists. Gonzaga, Providence, Villanova, some of the other schools on there. But, all these, they're all doing very well. But definitely keep an eye on Providence. And then on the top of the list, Auburn and Gonzaga. Really almost like neck and neck right now at the top of the rankings.
Oh yeah, neck and neck at the top of the rankings. It'll be really interesting to see which region Auburn and Gonzaga go into. What if they get by their respective tournaments. Auburn's in the SEC, and also Gonzaga is in.
Is Gonzaga in the Pac-10 or something?
Gonzaga's in the West Coast Conference.
Yeah.
Coached by Mark Few. It's his 23rd season there. If you can even believe that. Started coaching there in 2000, but was a runner-up last year, as we all know, losing that championship game. I think that is still something that stings them, much like what happened with John Calipari's Kentucky team losing in the Final Four to I think it was Wisconsin they lost to.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, they lost to Wisconsin in the championship game. There's always that chip on the shoulder of not being able to actually even delivering right there in the moment, and still trying to get over the hump. Let's see. Meanwhile, on the top 25 basketball rankings, as of right now, Gonzaga's number 1, 21-2. Auburn is 23-2. Arizona is 22-2. Kentucky is 21-4. Purdue also 22-4. Kansas is 20-4. Baylor number 7 is 21-4. Providence is now number 8 on the list, 21-2. Duke has a game against Wake Forest on Tuesday, 21-4. Villanova is ranking out the top 10 with a 19-6 record. Jack, what do you think of the top 10 in the current college basketball rankings?
They're looking great. The one thing that jumps out at me, you've got two teams in the Big East who are playing exceptionally well. Providence and Villanova. Providence 21-2, Villanova 19-6. So they're both right at the top there of the standings. And it's going to be interesting to see if, in all likelihood, one or both of those teams could end up in the NCAA tournament. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on those two schools.
Yes. If either of those two teams, I think, end up in the NCAA tournament, those two teams could be looking like they might be giving some of the other teams, some problems. They might be giving, some problems. It's really not like we have like Auburn and we have all these other teams in the rankings. And going through right now going through the college basketball rankings on this list, there are some pretty good teams, as I told you. Gonzaga, Auburn. It's really Gonzaga and Auburn, the two teams that really stand out to me. Of course, Kentucky, Purdue, and Baylor, of course, who won the championship. But I think of three teams, in my opinion, that really have to stand out: Gonzaga, Auburn, and of course Baylor. Can't forget about Kansas as also. But these four teams, those teams, if they want to get on some kind of wall and go into a very deep run during March Madness, that will be a key to even a successful year. Of course, when we get to the NCAA tournament, any, as we like to say, anything can happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, keep an eye on Duke. Yeah, they could probably end up in the tournament, and we might see some more of that Coach K magic once they get to the NCAA tournament.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, going over to the top 20, going over to the scoreboard right now for tonight's games. Let's see, in NCAA. Let's see the scores. Actually, the only game in the top 25 tonight is at 9 o'clock tonight. Oklahoma State is taking on Kansas. Kansas is 20-4 on the season. A very important game I think, for both teams, but mainly for Kansas, as I had been talking about earlier in the rankings. This is a game right here that is a team that is looking to remain hot. They are looking to remain, haven't even lost. In fact, they have not even lost back-to-back games, beating teams like Nevada, George Mason, Oklahoma State. Started the year actually on a 4-0 start. Defeated Iona, a team that we follow closely. A team like also St. John's, UTEP, Missouri, Stephen F. Austin, Nevada, George Mason. So this team wants to really, I think, get on a wall and keep it going during the tournament. And also let's see. Also, did you hear, what was your thoughts also about this, Jack? Clemson's David Collins suspended for 1 game and a flagrant foul 2 against the Duke Blue Devils.
Yeah,
He's a senior. You heard about that?
I did. Did you see the replay of that?
Oh, I think I did. Oh, those are so difficult to watch. Because one, the player gets ejected, and number two, the player that gets hurt is, well, I think I saw it. Yeah, I did. The player that gets hurt is ultimately, he is in a lot of pain. So I guess even though it's like you can't make it, depends also on how much pain that's been inflicted on the other player. Oh,
He came down hard, and it was kind of scary for a bit. But yeah.
Collins was ejected Thursday after he undercut Wendell Moore from behind. Wendell Moore is from Charlotte, North Carolina. Is a junior right now. He is averaging on the season right now. Uh, he's playing in 25 games, 33.6 minutes, and 13.7 points a game. So that will be a major potentially big loss for a big loss for Duke in that game. And he was ejected. And also, by the way, Dawson Garcia, due to even a family medical issue, we certainly hope that it will be okay. Dawson Garcia will not be coming back to North Carolina men's basketball team. A transfer. He's from Marquette. He's been averaging. He has been averaging about playing in 10 games, 11.9 points, and uh, 11.9 points per game, 10 games played in 24 minutes. We do hope that whatever he's going through, that it works out, and he'll be back shortly.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a loss for the North Carolina Tar Heels. Yeah. Yeah. Let's say it says that he came close to losing his dad in December. His grandfather is currently in the ICU, so it is a very tough time. Oh, especially
Which
at this especially at this time with everything that's been going on with COVID and everything. When it's extremely difficult. And okay, Jack. What games are you going to be watching for this week?
Well, definitely keep an eye on that Iona game tomorrow night. They are still atop the MAC conference, although Siena and St. Peter's are kind of nipping on their toes. Iona's 12-2 in the conference. Siena and St. Peter's are both 9-4. So keeping it close there, but it looks like Iona, they keep playing the way they're playing. They could end up being the MAC representative once again in the NCAA tournament. So definitely keeping an eye on them, and also Army and Navy, but definitely keeping an eye on the Army Black Knights in the Patriot League against. They have that game against Colgate, which could be a tough one. Colgate won the Patriot League last season, so we'll see what happens in that game this week. And of course, you got to watch those top 25 teams: Auburn and Gonzaga and Providence as well.
Yes, Providence. Well, our colleague Ken Kraser went to school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely watch out for Iona. They've got to get on the wall. They've got to get on the wall again, because I mean that one loss, Iona's game against St. Peter's, Fairfield, and then Canisius are all basically going to be critical games for the rest of the season, and also going into the NCAA tournament. So I think that will wrap it up tonight. I thank you, Jack McGuirk, for joining me.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. This is Richard Miller for Sons of American Legion Radio. Thank you for listening to our Army Basketball Huddle. We will be back next week on right here. Have a good night, everyone. So long.
Good night.
Let's see.